Okay, I'm here with Erica Bryant, or Mrs. Bryant, and she's a kindergarten teacher. She's my cousin Sarah's. No, Sarah! She's my cousin Sarah's best friend. So, we're here at my grandma's house, and I'm going to ask her a few questions. Okay, why did you go into teaching?
I like just the school atmosphere, and I like working with children, and they're always so fun to work with that it's never a boring day, and children are just really fun to work with.
I like that too. What makes it different than any other profession?
Being able to influence and introduce new concepts to children, to be the first one to show them things sink and float and why things float, and letting them play scientists in the classroom, and being the first one to do that is, when you see it in their eyes, it's the most amazing thing, and it's so fun to witness that.
Yeah. Do you teach science most of the time?
Everything. From a lot of reading, a lot of math, and you have to do a lot of science with the kids.
Do you find it easy to integrate your morals into your teaching?
Especially with kindergarten, you have to have rules and establish right and wrong and follow through on that, and they're just basic principles of how to be a basically good human being and functional person of society. So it's not my faith or belief that I show in the classroom at all.
Just like on the playground, learning good and right from wrong?
Just being courteous and polite, and just normal social behaviors that kids need to have. Please, thank you. No pushing.
Have you ever worked in a private school?
No, I have not. I've only worked in public.
So do you like working in a public school? Did you ever want to work in a private?
I only wanted to work in a public school because I don't have any religion or faith base that I would want to work in that sector, because I don't feel strongly one way or another with religion, so it was never really an option for me to go that way.
Alright, nice. How do you integrate each learning style into your teaching? Do you remember learning about learning styles?
Everything, no matter what it is you're teaching, you have to be able to make it understandable for every child, and whether they're audio or visual or kinesthetic learners, you have to be able to show it to them in more than one way. Whenever you're explaining anything, you show them one way, you show them another way, and the more ways you can explain one thing, the easier it is for the kids to understand, especially kids who English isn't their first language. They need the real objects. If you're talking about apples, you need to have the apple. If you're talking about boats, show them the boat. They really need the visual cue and the real item that you're talking about in order for them to understand.
Yeah, that would make sense. Have you ever done activity centers?
Yes.
Yeah, where you separate them into their strengths and weaknesses?
If you're talking about differentiated instruction, as far as, these kids are able to read, these kids still can identify the alphabet, and these kids are learning the alphabet. So if you have 3 different groups, or if you say high, medium, and lows, you can, but you also want to help the kids who are high, and you have to pull up the kids who are low, but you also can't constantly group them by abilities, because kids are very smart and they'll recognize that, and you don't want them to play into that role.
Yeah, you don't want to give them a role.
Well, or even a title, like this is I don't want to say the group that needs a lot of help, because then other kids in the classroom will say, oh, you need a lot of help, you must not be that smart. So you never want to make your groupings to be like, so that the kids can identify the ability, so you kind of switch it up constantly.
Yes. What was your fondest memory of your first year of teaching, or any year of teaching?
Actually, my very first year, I taught 3rd grade, and it was in the inner cities, and just being able to introduce a concept, show them, what I want them to do, and then to actually let them go on their own and work on that idea, and then bring back a product or produce work that was great, that, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. It actually works. Like, yeah. Oh, look, they're learning. So to actually see that the first time of you teaching them and them understanding it and being able to show you why it works, it's just great knowing that you've passed on that knowledge.
Yeah. I've done that before. I was tutoring, and it felt really good to teach them how to learn and everything.
Once kids grasp something and they truly understand it, it's great to see it.
Yes. How did you prepare to become a teacher?
My undergraduate work was in liberal studies at Cal State Long Beach, and I did a lot of volunteer hours in the classroom in different grade levels, kinder, first, second, fourth grade. I come from a family of educators, so it was very easy to always be in the classroom. My parents are educators, my aunts and uncles, so it's been a very natural environment and setting for me. And then I did student teaching, and I also got my credential and my master's in education, so a lot of education before I actually went into teaching.
Do you like kindergarten the best?
I do like it quite a bit. The children it's their first, for some of them, their first experience with school, and they're just so excited to learn and just to be there, that the enthusiasm and just they're so happy all the time that they are easily a very fun group to work with.
Yeah, the preschool teacher I talked to said that she liked how they're open to learn and other groups aren't.
Well, but also, even if kids come from different backgrounds and different situations, but at 4 and 5, they're always, and 6 even, they're still so happy, and they can let a lot of things go, and so they're just really excited at school. So they're not bored with it yet, because they haven't been there for 4 or 5 years. They're still so excited to arrive every morning.
Okay, when did you know you first wanted to be a teacher?
Probably my second year of college. I was a business major at first, and then I worked somewhere where the other lady I worked with, her kids were in school, and it was during the summer, and she was constantly at work, and her kids kept saying, "Mom, can we do this? Mom, can we do that?" And I realized that teaching, I didn't realize what a great benefit the schedule is, and my parents were educators, and I just thought, oh, it's summertime, all parents are off in the summer because you're off. And I didn't realize that it was only for teachers, and I realized that as a woman teaching and having a career and maintain a family as well, it was one of the best options, and I enjoyed working with children anyways, so.
Yeah. What advice can you give to first-year teachers in my class?
There's nothing like your first year. There's nothing that they can say or do to prepare you for your first year. I can only say over-plan and set rules, follow through, and just take each day as if it's new, because you'll never know what you get.
But it's worth it.
Oh yeah, I love waking up every morning to go to work, because you know you've got these 20 bright, shining, happy faces to look forward to.
Thank you, Erica.
No problem.